Hey everybody, it is Billy at Be Tough Man. Today we are talking about drones. That's right, man. We're going to get into it. I've been wanting to do this video for a while. I have two drones here that we are going to compare, and that is the Mavic 2 Pro versus the Mavic Mini. I will show you which one is my favorite. That is coming up on Be Tough.
I don't wanna one night stand. I'm in old fashioned young man. Never thought I'd turn her down. Swear I'm caught in a cyclone, sweeping breezes on my phone, seeking love in a ghost town. But I see the way you turn and looking at me. Your eyes are calling like a taxi.
All right, let's get into it. There's a lot to go over here. First off, we're going to start with the Mavic 2 Pro. This is the first one I had out of these two. Now, I started originally with the Mavic Phantom 2, and I went from that to this. So it's a big upgrade, right, if you've ever flown drones. All right, so this drone is exceptional. The Mavic 2 Pro, for what it does, is absolutely exceptional. It has, I don't know how many sensors it has, but they're all over the place on here. And it is hard to crash this thing. Compared to a Phantom 2, a DJI, which I crashed on a regular basis, this thing you have to work at crashing. It has so many sensors that help you not smash into things, even when you can't see it. I mean, I've had this thing out of sight, out of mind, way out there. And I mean, I was navigating through trees. I mean, it's incredible. It also has a tracking system that will track you through pretty amazing stuff. And wind, you know, I have flown this in like almost gale winds, and amazingly, it still flies and corrects itself. You know, it's got its own GPS and, you know, balancing stuff that it has inside there, and it will keep it somewhat stable even in windy conditions. It's an amazing piece of equipment and amazing technology. I haven't crashed it yet. And I think that is because, like I said, it is so, the technology built into it, you know, prevents it from getting into accidents like older drones would. Now, it is somewhat heavy. If this fell on your head from the sky, someone would probably get hurt pretty decent. It is small though. I mean, there are bigger ones out there. And for what it does, it probably does the same as a lot of the really big ones that people use for heavy industrial stuff, right? But it is very good and very dependable. And the quality, which we'll get into the video quality later, I have some images that we've taken with it, we'll go over that, but overall it's very good. Now the price range on this is about $1,600 bare. That's just with this, right? And by the time you start adding everything together, you know, you get the batteries and you get this carrying case. Like I bought this carrying case, I think I got it off Amazon, I don't remember, but I got this carrying case. It's really nice, and it stores everything from the cables to all the batteries and everything, all the controllers and all that. And it's really tidy. So when I leave the house, I'm just leaving with this thing, right? Out the door, there we go. Now, I really enjoy the maneuverability of this thing. It really does handle very good. It's very controllable, and it's actually a lot of fun to fly. You know, I've gone out and just flown it just because it's such an enjoyable experience flying this thing. The way it handles, and it's a really good drone. All right, so that is this one. We're gonna set this off to the side. We will show some video of this and you will be able to see that. Now, I wanna show you this one. I picked this up for a couple reasons. And this is the DJI Mavic Mini, okay? This thing, they have two options. You can buy it with just the drone with a battery, or you can buy their kit, which I highly suggest. Just get the kit that has 3 batteries. It's got the case, it's got everything you need, man. Just trust me on this, get the kit, okay? And I think the kit is $5.99 for everything. And like I said, it's worth it, because by the time you buy the batteries and the cases and all the stuff, the drone also comes with guards, which I don't really use, and most, you know, drone users will, you know, frown upon that. But most of them won't use the guards. But I will tell you that surprisingly, the guards are so light that you really can't tell the difference whether they're on or off. I just don't have them on, but they do come with the kit. So anyway, so here it is, man. This is the Mavic Mini, and it is by far, and I'm going to open it up here. I would say too that the feel of it feels like a toy, and you know, it's hard to explain, but when you put this in your hand versus this, I mean, this thing's heavy right here. I'm trying to figure out like what it would weigh. I don't know, but it's somewhat heavy, and this is somewhat not. Like if this fell on your head, you're gonna get hurt. If this fell on your head, it might hurt a little bit, but it's not gonna hurt like this dude's falling on your head. But what's really nice about this is it's 249 grams. okay? And that puts it under the weight where you need to register it to use it, right? So some of the regulations that come with this, right, especially in a commercial setting, you don't have with this because they made it like a toy weight. So if the government had to, you know, implement rules for this, they'd have to do it for all drones. Even those little toy ones you see at the mall, all those would have to get it because this weighs the same amount they do, right? So it was very smart on DJI's part to do this. Now, for me as a business owner, you know, and I go into events like I go to, you know, races and stuff like that, that makes this a lot better for me because I'm not, even though, you know, you have to practice safe drone flying, some of the regulations that come with the bigger stuff you don't really have with this, right? So I'm able to go into events and feel a little bit more comfortable. And also too, from a liability aspect, I just feel better, you know, if this fell on someone, God forbid, I just don't think the damage is going to be as much as this falling on somebody, you know. And I've never had any of those problems. These things are very reliable, and I don't think they ever would. But I'm just saying, if that happened, you know, this little piece of plastic falling on someone isn't going to damage as much as that thing would. This flies amazingly. I mean, it is incredible how good this maneuvers and how fast it is. When you put it in the sport mode, it is, I mean, it is so fast. It's incredible, man. It's so fun. They could have races with these things, man. I mean, really, they could. They're that fast. They're really fun, you know. Yeah, and so the battery itself, there is a couple limiting things. One is to get the video off of this into your computer, you actually have to remove the card, which is back here. You have to remove that card and take it out and manually put it in your computer. You know, however you connect a mini SIM card to your computer, that's what you have to do. Where the Mavic 2 Pro, you hook right up to you just plug the Mavic into the computer and you can take files directly off there, right? Like I said, this thing right here, and I will show you too, this is how the battery comes out. It's right in the back here. You can see that's how the battery comes out. If I can kind of do this, slides right out. It goes right back in. These are the 3 batteries. Now, in the kit, I want to show you this. It comes with this, and this is why I say it's so good to get the kit. You get this charger right here, right? And all these things go in there. See this slide in? Pop, and you just plug this in your wall, and they charge up real fast, all 3 of them, right? And then, so when you go on assignment, you just have this brick right here, and it has all the stuff, and you just take it out, and you go. And yeah, you just pop it in the back, boom. Drop the back thing, set it on the ground, and you're good to go. Now, look at the camera on this thing. I don't know if you can see it. Look how small that thing is, right? Don't let that deceive you because the image quality on this, for what it is amazing. I mean, it is, like when I first saw it, I'm like, whoa. I mean, I get that if you fine tune this thing, that you're probably gonna get a little bit better video, but this, don't think, even though it's toy weight, don't think that you're not gonna get quality video. In fact, I did a video that we're going to show here in a little bit, and I actually had a documentary, someone putting together a documentary for a drag racer asked me if they could use the footage in their film that they're going to show at Sundance. So the quality is amazing from this little guy right here, right? And so now we get to the point, like, so which one do I like better? Well, I can tell you, coming in at $599, first off, if I lost this for whatever reason, like if I dropped it into the lake or whatever I did, it's not going to sting as bad as this, which cost me, you know, $1,700, right? I mean, if you lost this in the water, man, I mean, hopefully you have the insurance program. They do offer the insurance programs for a limited time where you get an extra year where if you do whatever, they'll replace it for a small fee. I would definitely recommend that, especially on the expensive one, and maybe even on this one. But I can tell you that, you know, if you crash this one, I mean, it would be a bummer, but it wouldn't sting as bad as that. As far as enjoyability, it's this thing right here that I enjoy the most. I mean, I can take this on a boat, right? And it's like it's easy to grab out of the air if I have to. It's easy to land, and the guards on it, you know, don't really change the flight too much on it, you know, on this. Now, I've never put guards on this. I have no idea. I did have guards on my Phantom 2, and that did change the flight on it, but on this one the guards are so light that you really can't tell when they're on or off. At least I couldn't tell when they were on or off. So overall, surprisingly, I am really having a fun time with this. And in fact, when I'm going on assignment now, I still do have this one right here that I will take, I guess, on serious stuff where I know that there's not going to be a lot of people around, and maybe I want to get some landscapes. There's not a lot of risk of losing that drone. I'll probably use that one. But as far as like, hey, I'm going out to go, you know, do some stuff at the lake. I'm going to go out to the races and fly this thing around. Probably going to start using this a lot more. And not only that, but it's so small that, you know, you can just, I mean, look how small this package is. I mean, it's like, I mean, this is the box right here. I can go, like, I'm just out the door right now with this thing. Look how small that is. So it's definitely compact, and that makes it a lot easier to cargo around. You can slip it into a backpack. It's real light, and yeah, that's real good. On the remotes, let me talk about the remotes. So the one thing about the Mavic 2 Pro is the remotes are a little bit more sophisticated. This is what it will look like on the Mavic 2 when you hook up your phone. Now I use a older iPhone 8 and I got a thin case for it because the thick case doesn't really slide in here. You have to actually take the case off, but if you get a thin case, you can actually make them work with these drones, and so that's pretty good. But you can see you have a screen here, and let me see if I got any best. See if I got battery in here. Yeah, I do. But you have to go get the apps for your phone. That will fire up on here, and it has really clean images on here. So this is actually really nice. Now, when we get into the Mavic Mini, it's a little bit not quite as sophisticated. You can see there's no screen right here. It still works the same though. You hook up your phone to it, so it's really not that big a difference, other than you will have some more options on the Mavic 2 Pro as far as what the drone is capable to do, especially on tracking. The tracking on the Mavic 2 is amazing. It has everything from like circling around you to following you, and I can actually follow you and navigate through stuff and not hit objects as it's trying to track you. I mean, it's that smart. The technology on this is amazing. I mean, I'm trying to think, like, you know, like 10 years ago, like what would this cost? It would be ultra expensive, the technology on it, right? And now we're able to get it for under $2,000, which is pretty incredible. But the Mavic 2, compared to the Mavic Mini technology on the handsets, like I said, a little bit more on the Mavic 2, but for the basic, for someone that just wants to go out and do video, like just capture some cool images, doesn't need crazy tracking, you know, abilities. Like you're not trying to get something that tracks someone. You know, that this Mavic Mini is amazing. It just is, and especially for the price and the, you know, and the way they were able to get this thing to a weight where you weren't having to, you know, it didn't fall into the regulations needed for drone flight. This is the way to go. And if you're a new drone flyer, I would definitely say this is the one to go. So I want to get into some flights now. Let's go take a look, and you can see for yourself the difference in the quality on the two. All right, let's go check it out. Here's some video that we took for a local auto dealership. This is all unedited stuff. I just wanted to leave it in its raw format so you can see it. Picks up a lot of the colors, really good, really nice saturations on everything. I love the sundown shot. You can see coming up with the sun in the background. That really shows the capability that this camera has to develop really high-end stuff. Here's some footage of sundown at Lake Nacimiento in California. I really love these shots. These are something that we used in one of our boat videos that we do. We also do a lot of wake surfing stuff, so we'll get into that. I'll show you that as well. Here you can see a wake surfing shot. We do a lot of this stuff, and you can see the contrasts actually hold together pretty good, considering the whitewash is pretty stark white and the lake is really dark, and you're still able to see a lot of sharpness and color from the boat. I was not in the boat on this shot. I was actually about a mile away, so you know, I'm able to navigate it from a mile away and still pretty much stay on tune with the boat. Once you start getting into, like let's say you get up to like 1.5 miles away, 2 miles, and you have a lot of mountains in the way, it could get a little bit sketchy, which is kind of unnerving when you lose signal of it 2 miles away. The good news is it does come back. So, but it is, if you've ever had a drone, man, and you've lost contact with it when you're a mile away, yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking, especially over bodies of water. Well, here's some video footage that I took with the Mavic Mini at a local dealership. As you can see, really crisp and clear, especially with decent lighting. The contrasts are really good, actually surprisingly good on this video. This was actually an intro that we used for the dealership. Notice how smooth the cinematography is. Really good camera, and the drone itself is just very, very smooth in its maneuvering from fast to slow. Here's a look at Formosa Raceway in Kern County. Lots of little detail that the drone is able to pick up, and a lot of detail off in the distance you can see. I thought this overhead shot really showed how fine-tuned this camera is on the Mavic Mini. I mean, notice how nice those blues look and how detailed the track is. I mean, it's really cool. Here's an overhead look at one of the speedways here. Once again, the colors look good, the detail's really sharp. And every time I look at these videos, I'm shocked that it's coming out of this little camera on this little drone. I mean, it's just amazing the quality that it has, and it's really deceptive because when you hold it, you think it's going to be this cheap thing that puts off this cheap video, but that couldn't be furthest from the truth. It's really impressive. Well, there you have it. There is our comparison of the Mavic 2 versus the Mavic Mini. So, in conclusion, I would say that if you're into tracking or if you're into high production value stuff, I think the Mavic 2 is probably the way to go. I would definitely get the insurance policy for it, as this comes in at $1,600 without the kit stuff. But it is very good, and it has a lot of options in there for people. And if you are a casual droner, or you're getting into drones, or even if you do have a drone and you want to have something that you can go out and not have to worry about, you know, dropping it on someone's head or hurting somebody or having the regulation that goes into the bigger drones, this is the way to go. I mean, it is an amazing little camera for what it is, man. I mean, you put it in your hand, you'd find this thing hard to believe. You'd find it hard to believe that this thing could put the image quality that is very comparable to this, and it just does, man. I mean, I was floored with, I didn't expect it. I knew it would be small, but I didn't expect it to be that good a quality on the images. And the maneuverability on this thing is just, it's so fun, man. This is the funnest drone I've ever had. It just going out there, I mean, it's so maneuverable what you can do with it. It's so fast. And anyway, very impressed with the Mavic Mini. I mean, over the two, if I had to pick one, I'd say the Mavic Mini is my new favorite drone. I mean, it's crazy, man, but it just is. I didn't expect that, but it is. Anyway, that's my review. Please, if you like this video, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and thanks for joining us on Be Tough.